Welcome back to Streamline Investigations. It's Marvin speaking. I hope everyone in New Zealand, Australia is well. And obviously the UK and wherever you are in the world. Let's get straight into this.
Rangers and police have returned to the South Australian Outback in a fresh bid to find little Gus Lamont.
It's been more than 2 weeks since the 4-year-old vanished, and today the search resumed with the launch of a special task force.
As the sun rose over the South Australian Outback, the troops moved in as part of the new Task Force Horizon. The convoy of army trucks sent on a fresh police mission to find little Gus Lamont.
To ensure that essentially we're leaving no stone unturned in our efforts to now recover Gus from the property.
Eyes on target, troops hit the ground. A fresh and much wider search launched. Almost 100 soldiers walked parts of the property more than 3 kilometres out from the homestead, where he was last seen by his grandma playing in sand on grand final night, September 27.
It's particularly tragic when we don't know exactly what's happened and question marks still remain.
Only one sign of the young boy found during the last search, a boot print. But since then, nothing. Theories running wild about what may have happened to him out here. But police insist there is nothing to suggest foul play.
As you would tell from the work we're doing today with the ADF, that our focus is largely on an exhaustive search of the property on the basis that Gus has wandered off, and we're hopeful that we can find him and return him to his family.
The police commissioner this morning announcing a new police specialist team investigating the case named Task Force Horizon.
We have had people dedicated to the search for Gus, but based on the fact that we've yet to find him and that we will have an ongoing commitment to this exercise, we've established a task force to make sure that we coordinate it as we would any other policing operation.
Officers not giving up on this baffling case that has gripped the nation.
Let's go live now to Hannah Ford at the search scene. And Hannah, they've just wrapped up for the day.
That's right, Will. Police have just told us that sadly they haven't found any new signs of little Gus during today's search, but they're not giving up. They'll be back out here tomorrow, continuing to scour previously unsearched areas, ticking off patches of the vast land. They're trying to search as much as they can before temperatures rise to 36 degrees on Thursday. The absolutely devastated family has asked for privacy as they deal with the unthinkable. The mother of Gus still caring for his brother, a 1-year-old baby, remaining hopeful of finally getting the answers they need.
No surprise, bad search.
Welcome back to part 2, people. We're just going to go over some of what Kaylee, the Daily Mail, she's actually out there at the moment.
Gus's grandmother realised she couldn't find him. After a week, police said the search would be scaled back as hopes faded that Gus would be found alive. But in a shock twist, and more than a week later, police said they would resume search activity at the family station on Monday. It's so remote. It's basically tumbleweed country. It can be almost a scary place. There's been no sight of the boy, alive or dead. It's raised so many questions about where he could be. I'm Carly Smith for the Daily Mail. I've been in the South Australian Outback for the last couple of days, and this is what we know about missing 4-year-old boy August Gus Lamont. The facts are as follows. At 5:30 p.m. on September 27, Gus's grandmother realised she couldn't find him. He had apparently been playing in the pile of red sand out the front of their homestead just half an hour earlier. With the sun starting to sink, concern quickly turned to panic, and for the next 3 hours, the family frantically explored their rambling homestead, shouting Gus's name into the twilight. Darkness fell, and around 8:30 p.m, they called the police. This station is nearly 350 kilometres north of Adelaide. It's so remote. It's basically tumbleweed country. It can be almost a scary place. It is very, very isolated, and it is down a really rough and tumble dirt track. The police searched for Gus for a week. There were huge air and land searches using airpole, drones with infrared sensors, the SES and Indigenous trackers. Police divers searched the dams in the area. Every morning, convoys of trucks negotiated the 40-kilometre dirt road from the windswept local town of Yunta. Yunta boasts 2 petrol stations, a pub, a post office and a police station. It has an official population of around 60 people. But despite the vast, flat, featureless landscape surrounding the property, there's been no sight of the boy, alive or dead. It's raised so many questions about where he could be. The only trace of Gus found was a single footprint discovered about 500 metres from the homestead, and police have since cast doubt on that. After a week, the police said the search would be scaled back and have pretty much given up hope of finding him alive based on medical advice.
On Tuesday night, senior police spoke to Gus's family and prepared them for the possibility that we may not be able to find him alive. And this is based on scientific advice, professional advice that we get about how long it would be possible for a 4-year-old to survive in that terrain with the weather conditions and the clothing that he was wearing at the time. Whilst we've all been hoping for a miracle, that miracle was not eventuated. And in the last 48 hours, despite the professional advice, it being unlikely that Gus would have survived, we're confident that we've done absolutely everything we can to locate Gus within the search area.
So basically, why are they going out again? If he's confident he's done everything, what makes them so sure and confident that they may find him again? If they didn't find him the first time and they've checked 101 places, why are they so confident? You know I want them to be, but it's odd. Do they know something that we don't? Do they 100% still think he's out there? It's odd to me. It's very, very bizarre. It's why they're searching twice as hard now. But, you know, where they done a lot of checks the first time. Maybe there is a lot of they've mapped out areas which they haven't checked. But it's bizarre to me because you would have thought they've done that the first time. Let me know what you think, people. Thank you. That was a spot-on, brilliant report by Carly Smith there from the Daily Mail Australia. It is very, very worrying in where Gus is at the moment. I think the questions in following this case on Streamline Investigations with Ali as well is that it took 6 days for the family to actually release a photo. I thought it was 4, but the Daily Mail said 6 days for the family to actually release a picture to the newspaper. It's unbelievable, into obviously the world news as well, in what he looks like, which is quite bizarre. And it took over 3 hours for them to actually report the disappearance to the police while they looked around the farm. I thought that was quite a long time. And then it took the police to contact Gus's father, maternal father. Why didn't Josie or basically his wife, who lives on the farm, not say anything to him? That is absolutely really, really bizarre, and he's really unhappy about that as well. That's something I just can't get my head round. There are questions in what Josie said, and leaving the kid outside the front for half hour is absolutely bizarre. It really, really is. There's something I can't put my finger on, and I don't want it to be bad people. I want him to be found alive, but I think the answers are somewhere with the family. I really do think that. Let me know what you think, people, and don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment. Thank you. Do you know what? You know when you feel something is not quite right? I come across Kerry, and she summed up a lot of the things I'm actually thinking and not happy with this case and feelings.
Saying that the energy around missing 4-year-old Gus Lamont feels off. This video randomly shows up on my FYP. Allegedly a cousin speaking. This is what the creator indicates was being said. So I decided to try use sound and add captions to see what that says. You'll be shocked at what the captions say. Try it yourself.
Very spooky. I understand that you're saying, is Gus's grandfather transgender? I'm so confused. Please explain. Well, you know, he's a man that basically is now a woman since 2015. He identifies as Josie now. He was never at the house. That's why they can't find him. Yeah, I agree. I too definitely did sense that something was off from the start. It's just another William Terrell and Jaden Letsky mystery. I have my bets on the family is covering for Gus's unaliving and disappearance. Even time see this photo, it smacks me this didn't happen, nor like they're saying anyway. It's just that no up-to-date photos of, you know, Gus's dad and the mum not coming out, actually Gus's maternal mum who still lives at the property. That is bizarre. Surely you would come out and talk to the TV and talk to the news. It's not right. Yes, dig deeper, much more to this tragedy than is being fed to the people. I sense a family member has unalived the poor little boy, then disposed of any physical evidence. The villain is hidden in plain sight. I think you could be right. I think you could be very right. One of the points I want to make is, obviously, Josie was talking to the Daily Mail Australia and said, look, we will deal with it. When people actually say that, it's more of a sort of defensive action in saying that. It's like, we'll deal with it. It's our problem. That's what's bizarre about saying that. And I don't think Josie, the grandmother, should have said that, to be honest with you. I don't think she should, because it's like I said, it's going to put people on the back foot. That why doesn't she want help for a reason? And that may come back to actually haunt her. It really would. But that's odd for me that she doesn't want help. I understand that the family, they seem quite quiet and keeps themselves to themselves. But they could be doing that for a reason. But it's just quite a really, really odd setup. That, you know, Gus's mum and dad is still married, and yet his father lives 2 hours away down the road. And yet, obviously, Gus's maternal mum, we've hardly heard from her at all. Or not, you know, not a dicky bird. I know she's supposed to be quiet and placid, but surely she'd come out and say something. It's really, really bizarre. And I think the truth is on that property somewhere. I really, really do. Or was he ever there? It's going to be interesting to see whether the neighbours last saw Gus. That would tell us a lot as well. Let me know what you think, people. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Investigations. It's because, like I said, I think people are getting very, very worried now where Gus is. Thank you.